And the newer Disney Channel movies, not the same. Yo, yo, yo! It is another episode of the Autastic Artists podcast. Today's guest, in a surprising turn of events, is actually SuitMan. So, your boy, the potato chip enthusiast, is going to be taking over today with our other co-host, Audra Sisak. Yeah. Take it from here.
All right. So yes, today marks almost the 1 year anniversary for Autastic Artists, which has been wonderful. We love all of everyone's support. Honestly, we couldn't be here without you guys. All of our guests, all of our followers, people have commented. It has been a whirlwind of a year between, we've had Becca and Rachel, Chase Bailey. I mean, it's been incredible.
Yes.
And and not only that, but now we are on the radio.
Woohoo!
So if you happen to be living in Salem, Oregon live, tune into AMWV 98.3 and you will be able to actually listen to us live on the radio, which would be awesome.
Yes.
So like I said, KMWV. I'm sorry. See, this is the epilepsy. This is why we have this. This is my words getting mixed up. That's okay though.
So authentic podcast.
I know. And for those to be inclusive, I'm wearing a very Christmassy kitty outfit today. I had to match Janejira's outfit.
Yes, and I am wearing plaid because that's kind of like the gay bat signal.
And on the gay bat signal note, let's welcome our 1 year anniversary guest, my longtime friend. I can't tell you how long I've known this guy.
Forever.
Forever. And we don't agree on everything. But I can honestly tell you, I love this man with all of my being. And no matter what he has to say, no matter what he does in this life, I am still going to support him. This man could be behind bars somewhere telling me, that he went out and he did something crazy stupid. And wouldn't
we'll bail him out.
We'd bail him out. We'd be like, all right, that's fine.
I'll grab my $20 real quick and be like, here you go.
Without further ado, our guest and our host and our producer,
the man, the myth, the legend,
Duante SuitMan Barnett.
Yo!
Yeah!
This is the first time I've ever been that quiet that long on an episode. I thought I was gonna lose my shit. So over here, like, I can't be quiet much longer. Somebody get me on the fucking show. Hello.
Every comedian out there.
Yep. It's like, hey, are you guys still waiting? What the fuck's going on? I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
Can you guys
shut the fuck up and just put me up? Can you guys please? I've been waiting nicely. I've been waiting nicely. All right, I'm waiting. How y'all doing
today? We are good. How about you?
It's weird, I'd say the biggest thing that I have had to come to grips with is that when you're doing something new, it's not easy, right? And one of the funniest thing I saw, not even funny, I'd say the most I guess reinforcing thing I saw is I watched Michael Che's new special. And you guys know what he talked about on there?
Oh boy.
Black people can have mental health issues now?
Yep.
I'm just proud Black people can be depressed. Like I thought that was just being Black. And he didn't say it like that. I'll keep that joke for myself, right? But it was funny to hear him talk about that after that's been something that I've been trying to say and I was going to work on, because he doesn't deal with the actual issues. He's just talking about Black people in general being autistic and Black people in general actually being diagnosed something other than Black. So
right.
that was kind of, I know you're like, oh, fuck, we're starting already. The Black guy's got me feeling all awkward. Yeah, we're bringing it out today. We haven't really had a strong Black autistic guest. I mean, we had Chase, and he's a nice young man. Do not get me wrong. But we haven't had a strong Black autistic guest yet. So
didn't we have Rachel?
We had Rachel.
Ah, fuck.
Bruh. Awkward.
She claims she's half white. She's adopted, remember? So that I'm fucking with you. I hope Rachel don't see that. I'm gonna get a message later. Rachel's gonna be like, fuck you and all your colors. And I'm like, yep, you're right. You got me.
Sorry, Rachel.
And we got the SuitMan hoodie on.
Yeah.
For those of you watching, if you want one, send me a message. We will get them out to you. They're $40, and I think it's $10 shipping and handling. So we'll do a special order if you want one. We're going to be in San Francisco and a whole bunch of other places soon. So,
woohoo!
Yes, and I am going to be traveling around to Oregon. So if anybody in that area would like to hit me up and message me and would like one, again, SuitMan merch, let me know and let Dante know.
The farthest I will be traveling is downstairs.
I was going to say, your lazy ass is to the kitchen.
Well, I'm actually been busy doing voice acting, so you know.
Ooh. You go all the way to your closet for that, but yeah, let's go.
Hey.
Well, see, today's show is supposed to be about Dante.
Yes, let's dive into these deep psychological questions real quick.
Oh, fuck.
Hey, let's get those feelings out, boys.
No.
Right, so I would like to ask the first question straight up because I am sure so many. Ooh, someone's got feedback.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Someone would like what everyone I know wants to know. Where did the stage name SuitMan come from?
So a lot of you guys may not know this. I'm pretty sure most people don't. But I grew up always wearing a suit. Even in high school, I'm pretty sure Audra will tell you, I was in FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America. Every year I hosted our annual Martin Luther King I Have a Dream actual assembly, right? So I actually grew up wearing a suit and tie every time. It was just kind of my thing. And then as we grew up, I got out on stage and it was like, this is what, not only what I wanted to do, but who I wanted to be. And then it kind of built, my glasses are crooked, I see it now. Anyways, it kind of built its own momentum because everywhere I went now wearing a suit was an issue for most of my hosts. It was an issue for most of the comedians. Shit, to be honest, it was an issue for most audience members. Because as a Black guy show up in a suit and it was always, ooh, who's this guy? And then it became, I guess you could say, kind of an emblem. You know what I mean? A symbol. Because I've spent my whole life being Dante. And Dante's always been this, to be quite honest. I've always been loud. I'm an intellectual leader. Speak out for the little guy. I mean, I've never really bullied anybody. Most of the time I've bullied people, it's because they've been bullying somebody else or trying to bully me, right? And so it's always kind of been my moniker to be more than just me. And then when, you start thinking about things and you start looking at it, it now is a shield of who I wanted to be. There's a level of professionalism I carry. There's a level of morals, ethics, standards, and then also inclusion that I represent. And so the whole idea of a suit and the curl, it's all my look. It's all who I am. I mean, if you watch my cut videos, everybody's calling me the Black Seth Rogen. Like, I can't get away from it, right?
Yes, I love that.
And then on top of it, even if I wanted to get away from it, I'm not sure if I could, right? And then when you look at some of the other things I've done, there's no way that this wasn't the name I wanted, because there is a level of professionalism that you get when you think of a guy in a suit, right? There's a level of, well, he must have his shit together. or something, right? So when you think about those things, it don't really matter who you are. It matters what you kind of embody. And like when you think of the suit, the Batman suit, right? He thought the Batman wasn't the Batman because he wanted to be a bat. He was the Batman because what the bat represented. Suit man.
Yeah, yeah.
Because what the suit represents. Professionalism, and then also like in the urban community, and I hate to say it, in the Black community, we are we are labeled urban comedians sometimes.
Yeah.
Meaning like we can't do white rooms, and that's one of the labels and sticky areas. Whereas a comedian, I don't want to be labeled an urban comedian, right? And nothing against those who are or call themselves urban comedians, but if you do that, you're also kind of closing yourself down. You're saying the only place you can do comedy is off of MLK in any city, right? You're right. You're saying,
which is fine. Many people want to, what they call, the term is called, anybody who doesn't know the field is called pigeonholing yourself, and that's okay for those who want to be in that position and don't want in those other areas. But I think for you, you want to be that, expansion. You want to be just represented as SuitMan.
Well, not only that, but I was once told, like, I'm not white. I'm not Black. I'm neither.
Yeah.
Right? I'm neither and both at the same fucking time. So with that being said, there's got to be crossover. I piss off Black audiences sometimes as much as I do white, which is hilarious to me, right? Right. And then so it's SuitMan has became this idea that, and then like when we started doing shows in Boise and out of state, then it turned into almost like the bat signal of comedy. And that's the goal. I mean, I know me and Janejira have talked about this, and that is the vision of what we're doing. But when people see the Autastic Artist logo or the DWD, the red, the orange, and the purple, the gradient, they know what that means, right? And so it was trying to build something to where people would look and know it was me. So we got the curl, right? We got the glasses, right?
Yeah.
And then the suit takes it to the next level. It's a level of professionalism. You're always going to find me at a show because you're looking for the Black guy with the suit on. You're looking for the curl, the glasses, and the suit. And it makes me just kind of known. And so part of the things that we're looking for in comedy, yeah, you want to be funny. Yeah, you want all these different things, but you need branding. You need to have a reason that people are buying tickets other than the fact that you're, you know what I mean, a nice guy. You know what I mean? Like, what is your brand? And in my case, they know I'm SuitMan. And then when we take it to the next level, when I did these cut videos that have got me the millions of hits, they called me Mr. Suit. The people are like, the suit guy, the suit this, the suit that. And it's because I'm a Black guy in a fucking suit. So if they're going to be that obvious about it, I figured I might as well do the same.
You beat him to it.
Right. And anybody who's looking to go into comedy or entertainment, a lot of people out there who's in the business now think, oh, I don't want to do promotion. I don't want to be a promoter. But you are selling yourself, and you are selling you as a brand. So you automatically become a promoter, in itself. And that's essentially what you did. You created this brand of yourself.
Well, not only that, but that's where the whole idea of the production came from. Is I remember I did my first, and this may not be everybody's story, but I know Don's watching. I know there's Noah's watching, a couple other small time producers and comedians, and they'll vouch. For the most part, is when you first start comedy, everybody's your friend. Audra knows this. We talked about this the other day. Everybody's your friend. Janejira knows about this.
Yeah.
Everybody loves you. And then you get funny.
Yep.
Or you get an opinion, right? Or you say something to the wrong person, and now we've got to find a way to tear you down.
Or you just move on to the next level at all.
Right. And so with that being said, when I got to about my third or fourth month in comedy and I got my suits, see, that's the thing, is the first 2 to 3 months I didn't have my suits. I was homeless. I was fighting to do comedy. And then I got all my stuff and I came out in a suit, and everybody wanted to make fun of the suit. It was, next up, your local defense attorney. Next up, the defendant. Next up, wrestling manager, right? Like next up, let's make fun of the fact that a black guy's in a suit instead of, hey, this is Dante. I mean, fucking talk about my Jerry curl and my glasses. Why does it have to be belittling me as a black guy in a suit?
Mm-hmm.
And then you start to feel like you're not funny because you don't have a ton of material at 3 to 4 to 5 months. Some people will tell you, hey, I wrote 1 million jokes. Great, good for you. Great. That's how you fucking did it. Great. You're spraying and parrying, right? I've always done the more focused approach of doing the same things. That way I have a routine and I can do it. So after a month or so, everybody knows my 4 minutes of jokes. They're not all the greatest, right? And so I really started to feel like I wasn't that funny. And I did the Northwest Black Comedy Festival, and I got to do comedy in front of like 50, 60 black comedians. And what I found was not only was I funny, but most of them thought I'd been doing comedy for fucking years, which surprised the shit out of me. Is no way, right?
Hey.
And then on top of it, I was inspired by Dirty Angel Entertainment and Courtney Collins and Tyrone Collins, hijinks out of Portland, to be better, to do my own shows. Why aren't we having a black comedy show in Seattle?
Mm-hmm. I know, it's a good question, right?
And so we threw Dark Brew, and we threw Dark Brew at Laughs, and we got a ton of people there, and I got a check for $1,100 on my first show producing, which is ridiculous, right? Took home probably half that, right?
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
That's still good.
Two things happened. The first one was my colleagues looked at me and said, well, you know, Ellen DeGeneres and Hannibal, whatever his name is, Hannibal, I can't think of it right now.
Hannibal Burns, I think.
Yeah, Hannibal Burns, right? Got paid more. I was like, no shit. I hope Ellen made more than I did. But you're comparing my first show to those, you fucking pricks. And then the second one was I wanted to go back to Laughs, and I wanted to do Def Comedy Jam. I wanted to do Holiday Momedy, which turned into WAP and Raw, right? Which are successes, right? Yeah. I wanted to do what was the other one? Mixed and Misidentified. Those were like the first 3 or 4 shows I did. And they looked at me and were like, I don't know if women are that funny.
And see, and this brings into one of the questions I had. See, Dante's he's getting ahead of himself today. Which is SuitMan. This brought in SuitMan Productions, and what, not just being the SuitMan itself, but the actual type of shows that you do and that you produce and run is very inclusive.
I mean, that was my focus, and the best part is it rubs the feathers of a lot of white males. Mm-hmm. And there are so many white male comics who get pissed and say shit like, what if I did an all-white show? And I'd be like, well, that's your average show at Tacoma Comedy Club, or that's your average show at Laughs, or that's your average show at the Underground Seattle. That was your average show, was white people. That actually got me in trouble once for saying that on the way out, after the 2 black guys who signed up got kicked off the list. And the only other 2 black guys they had were their friends who didn't even sign up on the list, right? So it was one of those where it was like, what do I want to see? And then when we talk about Autastic Artists, this was hilarious because I remember it. I'll tell the story, is that I got a message from Audra, and Audra's like, well, I want to do some kind of podcast with autistic people. I was like, okay. Well, did I know that she thought I was autistic, and would I identify that later, right? But I was like, okay. Within 24 hours, I got a great idea. We're going to interview comedians and musicians about being autistic and how it affects their comedy or their work. And you're like, oh my fucking God, how'd you think of that? I said, well, that's how I work. You give me an idea, I'll solve it. Give me a problem, I'll solve it. And then we got a hold of Jane, and it was like, yeah. And Jane's like, I'm autistic. And I just like, me too. And she's like, so is Dante. And I was, what? Who? Something's not adding up here. I'm good at math. Fuck you. No, I'm not. Maybe I am. I think back to it. I went to special classes all the time, and they didn't call it that then. They just called us boiler room kids. Right? And so remind me to get back to that, because we'll talk about the black autist before panel I did, which was fucking sad, scary, and made me feel like I wasn't alone all at the same time. But it was one of those where you start doing things. And then I did a couple of shows with Benny Shakes and Blue Glasses Girl in UK because they wanted me on their podcast.
Mhm.
They had heard about the shit I was doing. And it wasn't even Autastic Artists. It was just the idea I did Deaf Comedy Jam, which is my deaf show because I'm partial deaf. And I remembered seeing somebody post about how they had an interpreter at a show and it was the coolest thing in the world. And I was like, why isn't there just a fucking show for them?
Exactly.
And then, I got all kind of rough because I'm not fully deaf. I'm partial deaf. And I was, fuck you, I'm partial black and partial white. And I'm fighting that fucking attitude too, right? And then it was also, well, not everybody on the show is deaf. Well, fuck, I'm black. Does that mean I only get to watch black comedians? Like, are you guys fucking stupid here? Like, what do you want me to do here? Well, you don't have a deaf comedian. Do you know how much it costs to get a deaf comedian in here? How about we pay $100 a ticket then instead of 10 or 15? Like, nobody was fucking happy. But at the same point, those who showed up were. And moving forward, it gave me something to build upon and remind me that everybody's going to tear you down and have a fucking issue when you're doing something new. Everybody. Because it's different. And they're not used to it. And nobody's done it before. And why are you doing it? And this, fuck you. And then we saw dating with, not our show's Dating with Disabilities. Love on the Spectrum. I'd seen Love on the Spectrum.
Oh, yeah.
And I felt insulted. And what I meant by that is I'm deaf. I already knew I was high anxiety when it came out. I already knew I was depressed, right? I had PTSD and diagnosed depression. I already got told all those things before I was self-diagnosed, right? And then also confirmed, but we'll talk about that in a second. But I watched the show, and it was so insulting to me to see how disabled the people were they chose to show what disabilities were. And it infuriated me in a sense. And what I mean by that is there was nobody on that show that seemed normal. There was nobody on that show that normalized mental health issues. There was nobody on that show that normalized autism. You could have looked and talked to any of those people for more than 3 seconds of that show and been like, yep, they're on spectrum. I don't think that was a true representation of what we were doing and who we are. That's the far left.
Yeah.
Right? That's the far left. And I'm kind of the far right. I'm the guy who looks normal and has the same issues, right? So I wanted something in the middle.
I mean, it's true. Yeah, there's so much representation with that white, high support needs, autistic male. And where is everybody else?
Mm-hmm.
And that was the one that kind of got to me when we talk about things and we look at things, and even just for myself, right? Knowing that there's nobody who's the face of Black autism. Can you tell me a Black autist that is famous?
I mean, I can. I have lots of autistic advocates.
Great, cool. You stop cheating. You know the idea here. The average person, okay, you asshole, isn't an expert in autism.
You asked the autistic person.
Right? You're an asshole. Right? Don't be like that. Don't be that dude. Don't be that guy. Don't be Dante. Don't be the fucking know-it-all, right? Fucking good impression. Good fucking impression, asshole, right? Actually, I did.
We have a question from the audience, actually. Don asks, how long do you spend thinking out a new show concept before you launch it, and how do you make sure it fits into the SuitMan brand?
Oh, that is a really good question, because I have like 1,000 ideas that run through my head every day. And I'm sure Dante is like, yeah, because let me tell you guys, I take my medicines for my epilepsies, and then I will message these two guys at like 1 a.m. with random ideas.
Hey guys, I just thought of a thing. And then we're like, cool.
And I'm waiting for the day Dante comes to me and says, this is a good idea, Audra, we should do it.
Wow. I love how I sound like the ominous prick of a dad. Like, I'm waiting for his validation. It'd be nice if he validated me a little earlier. Like, when I pull up to the restaurant, I want my parking validated. When I come to you with an idea, I want my idea validated. Not after dinner, before. God damn it. Right. But to be honest, within 24 hours, DJ Peg out of Seattle will tell you this. Don Zanklin will tell you this, who's watching. Both of you will tell me this. Actually, the best person to ask is our co-host, Janejira.
Yeah.
When I ask you for artwork, how fast do I want it?
Today.
Yesterday, right? And I'm not fucking with you when I say that either. I'm usually, hey, got an idea. Build the poster. Oh, that sounds great. And the next day I'm like, yeah, here's the lineup. Where's the poster? And you're like, I thought you were just, no, I'm not. Hold up. Let me stop. 2.5 years ago, that's how it was. So you'd be like, oh, I thought you were joking. I wasn't sure. No, bitch, I'm serious. I sent you an email. Now it's, oh, fuck, I got an email from Dante and he paid me. I guess I got to do something, I guess.
Yes.
Right? And
or you'll say the idea and then I'll be like, where's the email? Then you'll be like, I sent it. Oh, wait, just kidding. No, I did not.
I guess you did. I guess I missed that one. Sorry. Right. But it was one of the things that my buddy Peg said about me that has really hit me in the nuts. And then now that I've made the money and got some money saved aside to where I'm not just living check to paycheck or hoping to make these shows successful to pay my bills, I'm not scared to take a risk. I'm not scared to lose $100, $200 doing a show. Not scared to give away tickets anymore. That's not what it's about right now. I'm building my brand. I'm building my business. So if you want to buy tickets, buy tickets. I usually have 10, 15, 20 that I'm giving away because I need people in there to pay the business. I need people in there to laugh. And then if you like the show, I'm assuming you should come back and pay next time. You should, like, I ate for free. Okay, it was good. I'm going to come back again and eat. Now I want to pay you. So I'm giving out samples of comedy. I'm giving out samples of SuitMan, right? And so in order to do that, you have to stay consistent. You have to keep doing things. You have to. And the biggest thing, like right now, I think, what was it? Last month when we did this, I uploaded like 10 videos out of nowhere because I had slacked. Now our audio presence, I've got like 20 things I need to upload on the SuitMan Productions audio, right? Well, people aren't interested if you're not putting out new stuff. The 8, 9, 10 people that love us and listen, guess what? They're waiting for something new. That's my fault, right? And then the person who finds you doesn't want to see just one episode or two. They want to see there's a whole catalog. They want to see, like we said, I'm the third Black autist we've had on here. And we've had 4 or 5 women, right? And they want to see those things, not just see it was a once in a lifetime thing. And so it's like when I have an idea or I have an opportunity, I try to do it immediately because I need to see if it's going to work or fail. And even if it's going to fail, that might even be better because I'm going to learn something.
Yeah.
I think that's the important thing here is that you're going to learn something, but it's really hard because I know for myself, failing is miserable. I am a perfectionist and OCD at heart with so many things. And I honestly thought I was going to because I started doing comedy because of Mr. SuitMan over here and I'm very thankful for it. And I honestly thought I was going to get on that stage and cry, or at least over Zoom. I thought I was going to cry, but I didn't. But, like I said, inside you're feeling like shit. And I can't imagine, like I said, with Dante, it's really hard to get up there as an autistic and say, okay, I'm going to take a risk and I'm going to see if I fail.
Well, that's where I think that might also be where my comedy suffers sometimes because it's hard for me to do new stuff. And I'm in a routine of doing the same things that are good, right? And then on top of it, it's also hard. It was hard for me doing comedy because I was deaf. And that partial deafness, people don't understand how big of a fucking deal that is when you're standing behind the mic, projecting your voice, and there's only 5 or 6 people in the room. Because that's Jane. When you first start comedy, yeah, you can go to Nate Jackson's and get on that list. And yeah, you can go to Tacoma Comedy Club and get on that list. And yeah, you can go to Laughs and get on that list maybe once a month. More than that if you're lucky. But the other 25 places you go, guess what? They're going to have about 8 to 10 people. And they're going to have about 50% of those people are going to be other comics who don't think you're funny or too worried about looking at their jokes or too worried about what they're going to do on stage to really give you their full attention. So you gotta be able to know, hey, I'm doing this. Hey, it doesn't matter what anybody says, right? It doesn't matter what's going on. I'm doing this. And those are the gray areas. Like there would be times where I'd be on stage sweating bullets and finish my joke and be damn near shaking and come off stage and people be like, oh, that was awesome. I was laughing the whole fucking time. Like, I didn't hear a fucking word. Like, do this for me. I'm deaf. Please, something. And you know what? I should fucking do that. I should start doing that at the shows. That'd probably help. But hey, when you think something's funny, go like this. I don't think you're waving. That's just fucking applause, so I can know you're laughing because I may not see it. But
just put up a light up sign that says laughter.
You've been slacking on the sound effects, you asshole, since you want to go there, right? But anyways, that would have been a great time to have your fucking sound effect laughter, you son of a bitch. They're not that loud today, anyways. So,
no, I've got new audio equipment, and I'm gonna like install it when I actually have time.
We're not talking about you today. Next, anyways. So it was weird, and then part of it was I had to start looking for the laughs. Now, what I mean by that is I can see people giggle. I can see people move. And then now that I've got more comfortable, I'm able to scan the room and have a different conversation with everybody. And I think that's one of the biggest things I could tell people. Ooh, we've got a little nugget today. There we go. Don's watching. This is for you, Don and Noah. When you do your set, try to make eye contact with everybody in the room at least once. I'm your boyfriend. No, I'm your boyfriend. No, I'm your boyfriend.
Look at your man. Now look at me.
Look at your man. Now look at me. Look at your man. Look at me. Right? And by doing that, what ends up happening is that you make a connection. You can see what they're doing. You can make that eye contact. I fuck the whole audience the whole time. And about halfway through on a longer set, I figured out who's eye fucking me back. And that's who I focus on when it gets hard. Right? But, all right. That's who I focus on getting my attention from. That's who I'll get my feedback from. If I'm in a hostile white environment, the 3 black people that are there that are laughing at my jokes are who I tell my jokes to.
Now, see, that's a good point, because someone like me who cannot read facial expressions all the time, and I don't make eye contact. So what I do is I will look at people's noses. So here's Dante just eye effing everybody in the room and doing his smooth, charming thing. And I'm like, hey, hey. Hi.
Hello. I still think that was funny from that cut video when I was like, the guy's like, hi, hello, right? Hi. But that's the whole idea is that,
but that's the idea, is that you've got to make focus somewhere else, I think, to someone who's, it doesn't matter if it's just one person or whatever, just focus on someone who's responding. And I don't do it with I have to find some other nonverbal cue. So I will actually look for head nods. I don't care if you're laughing or not. If you're head nodding or doing some kind of movement with your head, I'll focus on you, and then that's my show.
And that's the other part is, and I see Dawn saying she's trying to get over the shyness. Fuck, they're paying to see you. Like and I want you guys to think about it like this, Dawn included. You're a stripper, right? And you think you're fat. Well, who gives a fuck? They're going to make it rain in this motherfucker today. Because I'm working from 10 to 2 and I need my motherfucking money. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's the same idea for comedy, right? Like I came here to be fucking funny. So I'm gonna tell these fucking jokes and you're gonna fucking laugh. And that's all there fucking is to it, right? And I think you've got to have but that's the whole idea. And it didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen the day of. But if you could have the confidence of a postpartum stripper with tiger marks and a C-section scar, that's the confidence you need when you go on stage. Like that's like, I'm gonna get all this money, y'all gonna make it rain in here. I ain't even done my toenails or put on no goddamn lotion in 17 days, you know what I mean? But we still we still have that confidence that I'm going to strip my stuff and get this motherfucking money. That's what you need when you do comedy. And it's hard. She said my inner nerd is panicking at the stripper metaphor or laughing. But that's the thing, is that's what it's about. A lot of times it's the lack of confidence in what you're saying that doesn't make it funny.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've got some jokes that use the N-word. I've got a joke that uses the R word. And at times people have not thought they're funny. And most of those times I've been nervous to say the joke.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell
and
those,
that affects the routine too.
what'd you say?
I said then that affects the joke too when you deliver it.
Bingo, right? And then are you choosing that joke in the right spot?
Mm-hmm.
You know, those are all things that we work on. But the confidence part, that part is it starts with you. And I'm here today to do these 2 minutes, maybe 2.5. I'm going to do them. They're going to go great. And if they don't, guess what? I still did them. And that's the great part about it.
Right. I think getting up and doing it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's perfect.
Yes.
Well, that is a perfect note to move on to our next.
Oh, it's that time again, folks.
No, we're not. We got 20 minutes left. We still got to figure something out. I'll get to it later. Go ahead. Fuck, I hate this part.
You cannot avoid this part.
So the only reason I want to ask these few questions right now is because I obviously want to know the one question, which is, who's your favorite comedian?
Yes, let's spill the tea.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You can't say yourself.
You know damn well you would.
Yeah.
I wasn't even going to, you assholes. I was actually thinking that's what it means when you look to the right when you're, never mind, you assholes. Anyways,
we can't read your face.
You saw me look up to the, go fuck yourself. I know you might. You probably will. You know what? I'm gonna leave that one alone. I'm not getting in that.
That's for the next show.
That's for 12 o'clock, right? But honestly, it was Bill Cosby. Not the person, not the guy who did whatever, but the guy that transcended black fathers on TV. The guy that showed a black family be successful and have black kids on television. And then the guy that didn't have to cuss to do comedy. And then the guy that was the Puddin' Man and the Puddin' Pops. And there were so many people he affected and put a smile on their face. I'm not talking about whatever in the fuck he did. I don't condone, don't agree. But as the comedian, he'd be number one. Now, with his personality, I'd have to take that away, and I just remembered who my number one would be. Rest in peace. We're very fucking similar. Robin Williams.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I see myself, now that you've asked me that question, in that light that Robin Williams was able to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my goal. I'm modeling now. I'm acting now, right? I do voiceovers, right? Do comedy, right? I sing. Robin was a complete entertainer.
Yes.
And he was also batshit crazy with some issues. Right? And obviously highly suicidal. Wink, wink, hint, hint.
He was a lot of energy. Yeah.
Right. So the parallels I see there are not only amazing, but very similar. And then just the goals of what he did, what he represented. And then if you know Robin Williams, he wasn't a nice comedian all the time. A lot of what he did was very dark, very in your fucking face, talking about racial issues and stuff. And if you watch his actual material, he was very upfront about a lot of shit. And that's something that I can identify with. My new joke about cigarette scars, a lot of people aren't ready for it. And then the people that are go, yes, and I get the snaps, and they tell me about how they they're glad somebody can joke about their trauma and all these different things, right? So it's different for everybody. But when I think about it, that is the one person I can say I truly got no qualms with.
And you know what? And that ties in too, because that's representation as well. Because even though the jokes may not land with every audience, you do represent those out there who will truly understand and truly appreciate your set and what you bring to the table. So yeah.
Question 2.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to a lighthearted, silly question real quick as a palate cleanser. Number 1, vacation destination. If someone gave you $1 million to take a vacation right quick, where would you go? In a world where the pandemic isn't a thing, of course.
Well, it doesn't matter where I'm going. They can't stop me. Doesn't fucking matter. I'm going to Bora Bora.
Ooh.
French Polynesia.
Fancy.
So in fancy. Yes, I'm a bougie bitch. Right. Fuck yeah, I am. But it not only is it beautiful. That's the first one, right? The second one is there's these things you can get on. You can rent these hotel rooms on the water. Yeah. Now that's not the best part. The best part is in the middle of your room, you have a 5x5 or 3x3 foot rectangular door to the water that lights up. So you can go swimming and snorkeling and watch the wildlife all night long. Yeah. We're fucking when I go to Bora Bora. That's if you go with me to Bora Bora, don't think we're just on a friendship here. Okay, I'm just telling you now. If you come with me to Bora Bora, you're taking your panties off. So it's kind of romantic, I think. It's also cool, I think, right?
Put that on my list of honeymoon destinations.
The autistic part of me was, I'm thinking as he's telling this story, I'm like, okay, well, if we get sponsorship, can we go as a show?
We're all fucking
rooms.
You, Georgie, right? No, is this a threesome or a train? Which side are you playing, Jane? I'm fucking.
This is the wrong podcast. That's at 12 o'clock.
I'm the guest that can go wherever I want. But no, that would be fan-fucking-tastic.
That sounds pretty lit. I'm here for it.
Third one.
Back to serious questions.
Serious questions. I'm not gonna go too serious. Dante loves, as he says, this went right into his segue here. The bouginess food. Loves a good meal, loves a bougie meal, loves to treat. It's kind of like he reminds me of The Rock. Like I get like a weekly picture where, like The Rock has all these calories for his cheat meal. Dante has this like weekly cheat meal he does, and
every time I go on Facebook, it's like today's meal, salad and all these fancy meats and some steaks, and I'm like, damn it, I'm hungry now, bro.
So if it was like your last meal, I guess, or what bougie meal are you gonna have, like, could you eat all the time that would be your number one?
I don't have like, that's the thing. Like, if I was gonna eat something every day, it's not a bougie meal. Probably be my mom's stroganoff.
Oh,
I'd eat beef stroganoff every day. I love stroganoff. Sour cream, a little cream of mushroom, some beef. It's not made that way when other people make it, but it's this. It's got a similar flavor, the sour cream and all that. That would just be the one. Or lasagna. I always loved Garfield as a kid because he hated Mondays and he loved lasagna. Like, Garfield was just, and then not only that, but Garfield was the shit because he picked on Odie every day, but nobody was picking on Odie but Garfield. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like me. I'm going to pick on everybody I love, right? But only I get to pick on you. No, don't let somebody else try to bully you guys. Oh, no, I'm your bully. You know what I mean? Like, no. I'm
You're the
your
OG.
bully. You're my bitch. You know what I mean? Like,
I was gonna say we're his bitches. So it's like that's it. In the most loving way possible.
right. And so
Respectfully, your bitches.
right, and that's where it kind of would be, you know. I loved Garfield, and I love like lasagna and stroganoff are like two hearty meals that just like hit you. You can't avoid them motherfuckers.
All right, potato chip.
Now, for the most important question of all of them, what is your favorite dinosaur?
Denver, the last dinosaur. Most you motherfuckers don't even know who Denver the dinosaur was, right? No. Jane and Audra's over there falling out. That was well played. That's what you call comedic timing, everybody.
Yes, it is.
And Kylosaurus. And I don't think most people would be in Kylosaurus or Stegosaurus. I thought they're the armored, and it's hard to tell which one I would like better. But they're both the armored ones. And the reason is in looking at them, they're the only two animals that look like they could kill or stand up to a T-Rex. And so my favorite water animal is the orca, right? Yeah. Orca's a bad motherfucker. He kills sharks. He eats other whales. He does whatever the fuck he wants, right? And so even though a Stegosaurus and Kylosaurus are both supposedly vegetarian, which we don't fucking know what they ate. Maybe they were omnivores. We don't know, right? But those two animals are just, you know what they are, right? There's Brachiosaurus, Apatosaurus. There was 4 Ultrasaurus. Like, trust me, I'm a dinosaur nerd. And right, then the Velociraptor, great, cool, whatever. That's distinct. But you had Tyrannosaurus Rex, and then you had what is it, Allosaurus, and there's a whole bunch of things that look similar. Nothing looks like a Stegosaurus. Nothing looks like an Ankylosaurus. And coming in third place, nothing looks like a Triceratops.
That's true.
That's legit. Yeah.
I was gonna say we have.
I saw the way Jane was like, I approve of this answer. Like I'm third. I've been sitting back for 12 months, hanging on to that gem just for you, Janejira. Okay, I saw the way you were like, about fucking time somebody took this question seriously. That is the best answer we've had this whole podcast.
Yeah, boy.
I didn't even study for this show. I feel like I'm fucking killing it. Fuck, I should be a guest on here all the time.
You were prepared for the question from the get-go.
That's right. Okay. Makes sense.
Oh my gosh.
And then, well, at the end, I think usually at the end, the guest asks everybody else a question.
Yeah.
You're supposed to ask me 3 each. We're going 2 and 2 now. You guys are shortchanging the black guy. That's
well, we got 10 minutes left, and we want you to promote all. We want time for you to promote your stuff.
I'm not going to promote everything. We're going to talk about some other things. So I'm not going to ask you guys a question. I need my other 2. Let's go.
Okie dokie. Audra, you're up.
Oh my gosh.
SuitMan not promoting things? Is the world ending? What is this?
I'm gonna get deep and personal on this one because I've known him for so freaking long.
Oh shit. About to get real.
It is about to get real up in here.
I'm not crying.
I'm not gonna make you cry. No, this is just gonna be who was someone that you still remember that you dated from high school that you would be willing to date again if they were single.
Whoa.
Damn. That'd be the blonde bombshell, Rebecca Dakin. My senior year. Yeah. She's still badder than a motherfucker too. I saw her at the 20-year reunion. I was like, Jesus Christ. Whew.
Wouldn't that be funny if she was listening?
No, it wouldn't be awesome. I'd be like, hey, boo. Hi.
Hey.
Hey. But she's not. And she said, I asked. Trust me. I asked. It's like, ooh, I'm in the suit. Hair's looking good. Hey. Hi. She's like, no.
Hi.
Did you use the classic pickup line? So what's your favorite SNL skit?
I was like, do you wash those jeans in Windex? I could see myself in them. I definitely could. If I'd have made an alphabet, I'd have put you and I together.
Hey.
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 Right. And then that would be if I was talking about the one person in high school I missed out on, it'd be Natasha Patch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
There's another one I could say, but nah, I'm not gonna go there. So next question.
Okay. If you were a coffee flavor, what coffee flavor would you be and why?
Ooh.
Real simple. I'd be toasted white chocolate.
Hey. Nice.
I've had that lately in my Americano. And first off, it's delicious, just like me. White and chocolate. So
Wow.
it's very, very, very me. And then it's toasted. Because I'm like simmered. I'm stewed. I'm stubborn. I'm crotchety. I'm cantankerous. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not just regular. You know what I mean? Like, there's
I'm not like other boys.
yeah. I'm not no basic mocha. I'm a toasted white mocha.
Yes.
I would just like to point out he also picked out the orca as his favorite water animal, which
The
is
black and white one. I sense a theme here.
No, my favorite land animal. Are you ready?
Oh boy.
It's only in Australia. First hint. Any guesses?
Is it a koala?
Bingo!
Yeah!
You know why?
Who doesn't love koalas?
Do you know why I love the koala?
Because they got good qualifications.
No, because they're a quality animal.
What?
A
Oh, I get
quality
it. Yes. Took me a second.
Huh? What? That's horrible too. Yeah, mine was horrible. Mine was just as bad. Right. But 2 reasons. First one is, like me, they look cute, but in real life, they're not at all. Second one is, I'll definitely scratch your eyes out in a fucking fight if I need to. Like, and if you've ever seen koalas fight, holy fuck, that shit is crazy. They're they fly down and fuck each other up. They don't stop for a minute. I saw this shit the first time I saw koalas fight about mating. I was like, ooh, they're like Wolverines. They're no fucking joke. They don't fuck around. And I was like, ooh, it's kind of like me. Like, everybody's, oh, he's cute, he's cuddly. Yeah, if you know me. If you don't, probably not.
Scratch your eyes out.
And that's why he's, what is it? Summer of the Walrus, or
It was Walrus Gang. We were a Walrus Gang.
Walrus.
Same idea. Walrus, very similar. They look very sweet.
Yeah.
Cuddly and soft.
But watch out for those teeth.
And they go, woo, woo. You see him barking. It's not like me. He's great. And then he's, hi, hey, how you doing? You're like, oh, fuck. Never mind. I'm going over
here. I think that was all my questions I wanted to ask.
These were some good questions.
You guys are like, we didn't even do the regular interview. So I'll end on this. I had a good conversation with somebody the other day, and they were talking to me about, well, how are you autistic? When were you diagnosed? And all these different things. And I told them I was self-diagnosed, and the person kind of got upset and got rude with me. And it was great because we were having a great conversation. It was like they were being rude on purpose. They were being rude because of their own personal interactions with King County and the school system and the resources for Black people and all these different things.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, don't you think it's funny that King County would put you on a panel and you're self-diagnosed to represent autism? Don't you think that's kind of unauthentic?
Nope.
And there's no. That proves the authenticity of the issue, is that everybody on this panel that I was on, and Audra saw it, we all had the same story, that we spent half our day in class and half our day in a portable. And instead of us ever getting some sort of diagnosis, we were just the problem kids. And most of us were too smart to be put in juvenile or put in jail or to get kicked out of school. So instead of going down that pipeline of schools to prisons, right, we got sent to these special classes. Now, for me, one of the things I had to explain to somebody is the only school I went to more than 2 years was my high school.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that for a second. And I was only in high school for 3 years. I graduated a year early. So growing up, I went to kindergarten and skipped to first grade the same year. And then I went to the same school for second grade, which was supposed to be first grade. And then they put me in IPP, which is the honors program back there. So instead of putting me in third grade as a second grader, they helped me back to second grade, put me in honors, and sent me to a different school. Then I went to third grade there and was having home issues and switched between my mom and my dad, beat up some kids or whatever. So then I got sent to Horizon, which was the 5%. And that was all the way out in Bitter Lake, which was nowhere near downtown Seattle. So I beat up some of those kids too. So then I got sent to John Rogers. I got this mean-ass German teacher named Miss Knudsen. I was 5'10" at the time in 5th grade, and I was 145 fucking pounds. And anytime I went to recess, I ended up hurting somebody. Because if I played basketball, ran into somebody, they fell down. And if I pushed them and playing tag and football, they fell down. And I pushed them down and all these different things. So guess what? I just didn't go to recess anymore. Oh. Then I went to 3 different schools for 6th grade, then a school for 7th, and all these different things. But the point of the story is I was never in one environment long enough to fit in, be diagnosed, or even be understood.
Yep.
And by the time it was all done, I was out of there. By the time people figured out I wasn't this asshole and the regular Black kid they thought I was, then it was, he must have cheated to get his academic scholarship. I won biggest brown noser at Highline High School. I do not kiss ass. But I graduated a year early with a good GPA and an academic scholarship. So the white students had to figure out some way to degrade what I had accomplished.
Ugh, yuck.
And the worst part is that this is the story you hear from most of our Black autists, is that we've been undiagnosed and we were too smart for our good. And since most of our educators were white, we were given behavior issues instead of mental issues. And I will end on that note because as a paraeducator in the Kent School District and in the Tukwila School District, we still give most minorities a behavioral disorder instead of a mental disorder. And leading to Audra's idea of work, what that stops from is from you getting an IEP versus a 504 plan. One is state, there's not 504, but what is it? Can't think of the word right now. But the difference is when you're on a mental disorder, you get state funding, you get all these things. When you're on a behavioral disorder, you don't. Most kids were given behavioral disorders. Most kids were given chances to get expelled and find ways to put them into juvenile hall and out of school. White kids were given help and rules and a fucking aid and all these different things. And if you sit down and talk to me for more than 5 minutes, you'll figure out I'm fucking weird. So with that being said, don't judge your books by your covers, right? Come back in 3 hours. We'll have a whole nother show for you. We've got our first guest ever on Dating with Disabilities. And she was our first guest ever on Autastic Artists. Give it up for your co-host and your main host tonight who did the yo, yo, yo. She didn't do it right, but she did it. Give it up for the potato chip enthusiast.
Yes.
She stayed off script. She didn't do it right. She didn't quite ask me everything she wanted to, but we got a good interview because I gave good shit because she asked different kinds of questions. Give it up for Audra, the polite kitty.
Yes.
And last but definitely not least, your host with the most, your guest today, the guy with the painting on the wall. I used the wrong hand. See that? That's my logo. Somebody did that for me. Shout out to Reese Samuels, even if she don't love me no more, right? But we've got a show in 2 hours or 3 hours. I'm going to go get some brunch called Dating with Disabilities. We got Raw Comedy next Saturday. Hopefully I'll get it booked and set up. We're also trying to do Santa's Naughty List and Give Love Laugh, a donation show for St. Mary's Place in Seattle on the day after Christmas at noon. Santa's Naughty List, I think we're going to probably do that on the 19th if I can drive back from Cali fast enough, right? And we got a whole lot of other shit coming for you next year. Like Audra hinted at, if you're anywhere in Oregon, not just Salem, anywhere in Oregon on the I-5 corridor, check us out on 98.3 KMWV. Every Friday and Sunday, we've got our Autastic Artists, Dating with Disabilities, or some comedy showcases on the radio feed to listen to. I've been SuitMan. You've been awesome. I appreciate your time. We love you. Thank you for coming out. See you next time.